Hi, I'm the mini painting noob, and today I'm continuing a challenge I received from Let's Get Gaming. He provided me with 3 colours to paint with. They were Blood Red, Zealot Yellow and Crusader Skin. I picked a mini that I'm going to paint with those 3 colours, and today we're just going to continue with preparations on that mini. I have already applied a zenithal prime, and I've dry brushed a few areas that weren't quite highlighted to my liking. So today I'm going to lay down some Vallejo model color silver on the metallic areas, which in this case is going to be the vast majority of this model. There's some crevices and things that we're going to try and miss, but for the most part this guy is going to end up being silver. Now, I kind of wonder what was the point of doing a zenithal if I'm just going to go over it with silver. Comment below if you have the same questions. Was that a waste of time? So, this is a probably a long rambling video. If you're not into that kind of thing, you can skip to the end and check out what the results are. But if you'd like to just sit down with a cup of coffee and watch videos or have these going in the background, then I've got my coffee as well, and yeah, we'll just crack on and get painting. So I have pre-mixed my silver with my new vortex mixer. Seems to be working pretty well. I've got a review of that, or an unboxing of that, on my channel if you're interested. So this should come out fairly smooth. I don't dilute the silver, I think it comes out quite nice. You can see there on the top, it's quite a smooth, thin silver. I think it does have some transparency to it, so hopefully we'll retain some of the shading that we've got on this guy. Actually, before we start, this guy is actually a Brotherhood outcast. He's not official Brotherhood of Steel, which means I don't have to abide by any Brotherhood of Steel painting guidelines or schemes. We can do this guy however we like. On the back here we see he's wearing T-45 power armor. Not sure why the picture is T-51, but never mind, that's a game. They get images and they do what they do with them. So we've got a Brotherhood outcast. I do have on my computer a picture of you know, what they're typically painted like is kind of a guide, but I think we're just going to run over all of the panels that I think need to have some sort of metallic coat, and we'll skip over some of the areas that don't. So let's just dampen my brush a wee bit. Now I'm using a hobby brush standard. It's had a clipped tip because it was a bit bent at the end, so it kind of has a straight edge on it rather than a defined point. I'm gonna try that out and see how it goes. I get a fair amount on there, but not too much of a blob. Okay, so I think if I work my way up or down, maybe work our way down. Alright, so shoulder pads first. So these are very clearly metallic, and I guess we don't want to heap it on, we want to keep details. I was wondering whether dry brushing metallics would work alright. You know, does it really need to get into all of the nooks and crannies? Or, yeah. Does dry brushing metallics work? I guess for the effect I'm after, which I haven't actually revealed yet, we need to really layer this on. We'll get inside this shoulder guard armor thing as well. Just make sure we do get all of those high points for that reflectivity of metallics. Nice, and I think I'm getting some of that zenithal is still coming through. Alright, next one. I mean, these are the easy bits because we know what they're supposed to look like. It's the rest of the guy. He's pretty detailed. I don't know how detailed I'll go. The goal here is to get him tabletop ready, and I just play solo mostly this Fallout game. But if I do play as this guy, then, you know, I want him to look cool. Alrighty, that's 2 shoulder pads slicked up. Nice. Alrighty, so I wonder now if I should tackle the helmet. This is going to be a little bit more challenging because he's got all sorts of pipes and things coming off that I do not want to have so shiny. So just wonder if we start at the back and we'll avoid that pipe. Maybe we get that coupling. And then down in here we avoid that pipe. And get this circle hingy bit, will be fine. And let's get the top. We'll try and avoid, probably not that it matters, I think those lamps, they'll probably typically be black on a regular suit. What colour do I want to paint them? And if they were black, would the metallic show through anyway? So the case of how detailed do you go, how much effort do you stick in? Okay, so we kind of have the back and sides done. I'm going to come down the front a wee bit. Maybe come across the eyes, but not in the sockets, if possible. Alright, and then down to this nose piece. And again, we'll get all of that, but we'll avoid the hose. And then I'll just skim the top of this, but avoid getting inside it, and then we'll get the outside of it. So I figure that whole coupling thing will be metal. And then it probably doesn't matter too much underneath things, but we'll lay some under there. Alrighty, so probably need a little bit more around the outsides of this. Make sure I got that part on here as well. So the helmet kind of flares out at the bottom. Alright, 2 shoulder pads and a helmet. Should we tackle the breastplate next? Okay, so I feel like I need to wet this brush off. The paint is kind of sticking to it and not coming off, so I'll give that a wet. I just drag it back while twisting. Yep, it's got that all off. So, trying again. I feel like that's coming off the brush a bit easier. And let's get it all in here. Get these lower 2 knobby bits. There it goes upside down, and we get the inside of this by his armpit here. Try to avoid that hose. And there we go. So if you do piece by piece, we'll get this guy done. So there we go, breastplate. So if we're moving top down, we can tackle the back. Now this is where we've got some decisions, which bits are metal and which bits aren't. I haven't really decided on the colour scheme of this yet. I think we're going to do probably everything except these hoses down the bottom. So let's just go in at the sides here first. That's pretty obvious. The tops are these. I'll just go right the way over this piece. Not sure if inside these matter too much, as long as there's some sparkly in there. And inside this side. Nice. So some of the zenithal is remaining, some of that shading, but most of it is going away. Alright, so let's crack onto the arms. We've got upper pads. Let's just do those. It goes right under his arm there. And we'll do underneath that shoulder pad there. Yes, this is definitely where the zenithal is staying, with those darker areas, which is good. It means we've got a little bit less work to do with shading. Cool, so that's one upper. Let's do the other one. It's got like a pouchy thing or something on the front there. I could come back later and do some details on that, but I'm pretty sure that this phase metallic is fine. If you're really noob like me and appreciate these long format videos, let me know in the comments below. Is there any part of my process that you'd like to see a little bit more of? So I've started including the palette here and the screen, so you can kind of see how I dab paint. I mean, metallic's a little bit different. Normally you would dip off some paint. I think for what I'm doing at the moment, I kind of need maximum paint. There's no point dipping off the excess. I need all of it. I want to avoid the hand. I think I made, well, if you have a look at the pictures, the gloves tend to be straight black. I don't know what colour I'll do them yet, but I think it implies they're not metal. Right, so I'll just get a good metallic coverage here. I think I was supposed to avoid that little crevice, but never mind. What I've got planned for this guy, it's not going to matter too much if they get filled with metal. Alright. It feels like this is getting a little bit dry and sticky again, so I'll give it a wash off. You can see there's all that silver on the brush that's just not coming off. So just off to the side, I've got some water, I give it a shake, rub it on the side of my cup here. It's a big heavy mug, so it's not going to risk falling over. And that's got it mostly clean. And now I just pull it back sideways, backwards. And while I'm pulling it back, I give it a twist, which, and if it was a nice pointy brush, it would leave a nice point. And the one thing to note is that under the ferrule here, you can sometimes get a droplet. You kind of want to make sure that droplet goes away, particularly if you're doing washes and speed paints, because water getting on your speed paint is sort of the last thing you want. Probably not too big a deal for metallics though. Could probably do with a bit of a thin down. This is just straight out the pot, so nice and thick. Alright, so I think we've got both arms done. Do a little bit more. Alright. Now I've got his middle area. That's typically black, like it's flexible, so it's not metal. I don't know if it's must be some Kevlar or something, but he's got like a, see it down there. There's a little bit down here that we need to get. I'll just gently sort of rub this around down here. That would be nice if these guys were able to be pulled apart, so you can get all up in there. Alright. So it's that lower portion, so I think they leave the middle section not metal, which means we can get to the rest of his back. So the pipes I'm going to miss, so they'll be not metallic, but I can work all the way around them. I think this whole piece here is, and I'm just wondering about that. When you insert the core, yeah, I wonder what colour I should do the core, and should that have a metal sheen to it? I think yes, so let's just go for it. Metallic over that as well. Out of all of this, I've only missed 2 little pipes, and around his helmet there's a couple of pipes, so could have just dipped this guy in a silver metallic bucket. Alright, on to thighs. And this is where we might have some more that we miss. Just behind the knees here. We won't get any in there. Same again on this side. Won't get any in there. If there's much point in putting paint inside here, but let's do it anyway. Now, knee pads, do I want those to be metallic? I think I will. I think they will probably won't be the primary colour I'm painting this guy. Which you guys can probably guess, because I only have 3 colours out at the moment. But maybe I'm going to pick an entirely different colour. Alright, so all of this leg stuff gets picked up. Big armour plating. So the only thing that I missed here was behind the kneecap. How's the view? Let me know. I've sort of moved my camera around, trying a new position, trying to make it easier for me to keep the model in frame, so I don't have to keep checking whether he's in frame or not. So hopefully you guys are getting a good view. So there's a little bit behind his ankle here that I can miss, but all of this boot stuff we will pick up with the metallic. You're probably wondering about his gun. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, let's make sure all of this boot, leg, okay, other leg, it's a big silver monstrosity at the minute. I think the colours I'm going to pick will really benefit it being so silver. Let's give this brush a little bit of a clean off. I don't want to get silver all permanently gunked up in these bristles. And again, let's pull that back. Make sure there's nothing still there. Alright, so let's just do a quick check on this guy. What have we got? Just making sure I haven't missed anything. So his hands are not done good. The pipes aren't done. It can be a little bit difficult to see where you have and haven't painted with this stuff. Right. The inside the torso there's not done, which is fine. Okay, so I think he is done. So onto the gun, and what I'm going to try and do, so I'm going to dab some off here, is grab all of these crisscross bits here. But not get inside the gun. So it's kind of like getting the structure of it. And we don't want to get those pipes. So just want to get this bar here, but not on the inside. Back. It goes right there, and then underneath. Okay, so underneath we got these wires. Oh, I just plastered it. Well, that's painted now. Let's take that off. Alright. It's probably fine. Pipes come out of here into... I don't know what colour I'm going to be painting that thing. Alright, let's go to what I do know. So this is more crisscrossy metalwork stuff. Just run my brush over all that high level stuff. Got a wee bit in the gun here. Looks like... yeah, so I think that's fine. I grab these bits. Underneath a wee bit. And complete the framework, we need the top of the gun. So it's sort of like the housing that holds everything in, which means we'll need to do some of this front. And may as well do those two knobbly bits too. Alright, so we've got all that front bit. Let's do some of the underneath this top. Okay, but the inside I have not got. Okay, so now we're sort of left with this underneath the bottom bit. Let's do those but not hit the pipes. And the other side. Not really going to see the underside of this bit too much. And then we just have the back. Yeah, okay. Gets a little bit confused where things come and go now. If I just grab some of these components, silver and some of them not, I think that will be fine. Okay. So that's probably about it. There's enough there for me to paint the primary gun colour that I want, which is going to end up being a metallic. And there's enough not metallic that will give us like a secondary gun colour. Alright. Oh, it looks like these little structural bits need to get done. Yeah, same as that one. Other side, let's do that one. And that one. Cool. So I posted on Facebook, I forgot what this gun was called, so it is a Gatling laser. So there are paint schemes for this online. I think they're all really boring, so I'm going to come up with my own. And same with this guy, he's a Brotherhood outcast, so he can go ahead and paint his armour however he likes. So we've got a little bit of freedom with this. It does not have to be canon. So that's going to be really fun. So again, the colours that I have to work with, blood red, zealot yellow and crusader skin, but you'll probably see me mixing in some other colours as well as we go along. So yeah, thank you for joining in on this journey, this challenge to paint a figure. Thank you Let's Get Gaming for these challenging colours that you selected for me. Particularly like that crusader skin. How am I going to get that onto a figure who has no skin? You'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, I've been the Mini Painting Noob, and you guys have been awesome. Like and subscribe, guys.